friends, welcome to Miss Suman's SG classes. Our today's topic is fraction. We will try and understand what is a fraction. Let's get started. So fraction basically means a part. If we are talking about one complete circle, let's assume we are talking about one circle. So if I'm talking about one circle, I will write 1. But if I'm not talking about one complete circle, I'm talking about a part of the circle, then we represent it using fraction. For a fraction, we have a number on the top followed by the number at the bottom. The number on the top is known as numerator and the number at the bottom is known as denominator. So the number on the top, that is numerator, represents parts. How many parts are we talking about? For example, let's talk about this picture. You can see this circle is divided into 2 parts. And let's assume this boy Tom, he is talking about this part. So how many parts is he talking about? He's talking about one part. So we're going to write 1 on the top. But how many parts are there in total? Let's count 1 and 1, that is 2 parts. So 1 becomes our numerator because we are talking about only one part. And how many parts are in total? That is the denominator, that is 2. I will repeat once again. That means the number on the top represents how many parts we are talking about. Are we talking about one part here? Then it means 1. If we have been talking about, let's take a look at this picture. If I'm talking about the red part, if I say I want to talk about the red part, so how will I write my fraction? Let's see how many are red parts in it. Only one slice is red. So I'm going to write 1. But the part we are talking about is 1. But how many are total? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So what will my fraction be? 1 by 5 or 1/5. What will 1 represent? 1 represent the part we are talking about, that is the red one. And what does 5 represents? 5 represents the total parts. I hope now you understand what does a numerator mean and what does a denominator mean. Let's take a look at one more example. Let's assume here Mr. Tom is saying that one of or more than one of the parts have different color than rest of them. So he wants us to tell him how many parts have different color and how many parts have the same kind of color. So if you look carefully, you can see that this part is different while these two have the same color. So how many parts have different color? You will say 1. And how many parts are in there in total? You will say 3. So this becomes our fraction. This is the part we are talking about and these are total number of parts. So we will say our fraction is 1/3. Okay? Or let's assume it the other way around. If Mr. Tom says, can you please tell me how many are orange parts? So you will say, yeah, sure. Let's take a look at the orange part. So we will count 1, 2. So how many are orange? 2. But how many are total? 1, 2, 3. So you will say the fraction is 2/3 because we are talking about these two parts, that is our numerator, and how many are total? 3. That is our denominator. Very, very good job. Let's take a look at this one. If I ask you, Henry, can you tell me the fraction? I want to know about the dog with his tongue out, then the total dogs. So we will first count all the dogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's talk about it. What is the total number? That is 6. 6 becomes my denominator. And how many dogs have their tongue out? I only see 1. That means 1/6. 1 becomes my numerator and 6 becomes my denominator. I am pretty sure now you all understood the concept of fraction. The number on the top, that is the numerator, represents about the parts we are talking about. And the number at the bottom, that is the denominator, is the total number of parts. Whatever we have, whatsoever, we are talking about dogs or balls or cars or bikes, we just have to talk about the total when we are saying denominator, and for numerator we will consider what are the parts we are talking about in this particular situation. Number of boys as per the total fraction. If I want to talk about the number of boys over the total, so Sam will say there are 5 boys. So the 5 becomes my numerator and 6 becomes my denominator. Here 5 represents number of boys and 6 represents total. In contrast to my previous fraction, that was 1 by 6, where 1 represented number of girls and 6 represented the total. So I hope now you understand what does a fraction mean. A fraction means that the numerator is the part we are talking about, while the denominator is the total number of parts. Very good. I hope you liked and enjoyed my video, and now you are clear with the concept of fractions. In my next video, we will see the different kinds of fractions followed by the addition of fraction. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye.